Good morning, everyone. We're at the end of the month, September. Holy cow. Where'd it go?
It flew by. It's
It really
been the
did.
fastest month of the year, I think.
It is shocking. Like it's how time is flying by. But there's lots happening. There's lots going on, and people back to school, people back to work. Everyone's attention being shifted a bit, and lots going on. We've got some energy stories we want to kind of talk about with supply crisis. I wouldn't say crisis, but there's supply shortages. We'll touch on a bunch of stocks that we like, and just some quick news updates, and just some big headlines out there for people to kind of, if they want it on their own time, to go delve in deep and read into.
Yeah, I think a great place to kind of start here is just to touch on Lakewood Exploration down in Idaho. Their silver project down there, phase 1 drilling programs ramping up, getting ready to go. They've mobilized a drill in preparation for it. Really exciting. They're going to start getting drills in the ground and start getting that project going. So interested to hear what you think out of that one and what makes this exciting to you, Andrew.
Yeah, no, we're a big fan of Lakewood. I mean, we think their model is compelling, to say the least. They've got a couple projects now. So it's like everything else. The drills are turning, the data is being accumulated, and as we get more news, we will certainly share it with you. But this is a very optimistic project. We're pretty excited about it, and I believe they're down in Idaho at a silver show for this week as well. So lots happening there. Maybe we'll have them on next week or the week after. We'll try to catch up with them and see what they can share, where things are at. But yes, we're definitely following that and quite interested. And following up on some mining, we want to touch on Trigon Metals in Namibia, which just raised $6.8 million last week, I think it was. So they are just motoring along, and they announced on the 22nd, so last Monday, I believe it was, that they announced that Tulila Mining construction of the open pit mine. So they're the contractors for this combat mine in Namibia. So they're getting everything refurbished and up and running and ready to go. So that's exciting as well. And we certainly like this company for a number of reasons, partly because of Eric Sprott's involvement, but also Larissa Sprott on the board. Jed Richardson has done a great job there, restarting this, refurbishing it, getting it up to speed. Namibia is an incredible place to work. It's safe, it's business friendly. The people, are happy to work there. And we've heard nothing but good things. And I kind of want to mention that because we actually have a video coming out later probably tomorrow, actually. I think tomorrow morning or afternoon, we'll see on Gratomic, who also is a neighbor in Namibia, and to see how they're doing, what they're up to. And it should be interesting to follow up with them as well. So 2 interesting stories in Namibia that are in the mining sector here.
Yeah, and for people who aren't aware, Namibia is very much on the gold standard of mining in Africa. It's one of the places you want to be working involved in. They've got a great infrastructure set up there. It's a very minely friendly country. So always great to be following companies in that neck of the woods. I know we don't normally talk about mining plays in Africa too much, but when you're talking about Namibia is a really good example of how it can be done right in Africa, which is cool to see.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, jurisdiction plays such a critical role, not only in discovery or in the exploration phase, but if you're ever going to attempt to make a mine or to run a mine. So this company is going to mine. They're literally going to be mining, and you need to have the community involved, the people there involved and excited that they can see that it's a win for them. And Jed has certainly done that. So very great, very good story. And we're looking forward to keeping up with them to see what the developments are. But certainly with raising that money, a strong indication from the market of the belief in the project and the management team. So good stuff happening over there. It's great.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it's very good to see that trending in the right direction. I'm going to throw 2 kind of little tidbits here as well for Globex and QU Media. The first one being QU Media. For anyone who wasn't listening last week, they do have a management update call on Thursday. If you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to us. I'll be able to send you the Zoom link info, the password, and everything, so you can get in and listen to that. they should have a lot of really exciting updates. And if you're looking for some updates from Globex Data, we're going to be chatting to Alain in the next couple of weeks here, but he's going to be on Fox News Business this week on their New to the Street TV show. So check that out if you have Fox Business. If not, I'm sure Fox Business has it on their website. We'll get it out to the mailing list as well. But some nice updates right from the top management of those companies, kind of laying out the plan of what the rest of this fiscal year is going to look like and plans ahead for 2022.
Yeah, both have so much news and so much happening that I think people can get inundated, especially say with QU, the amount of shows, the amount of work they've done, the amount they've been putting together. Most are waiting for this revenue. So we'll see if there's any discussion on that, any numbers we can talk about. I know that their end of year is a little bit different. And of course, because India's end of year is different and the US end of year is different. So sometimes that can throw a little wrench into things. People go, wait, what's your company's end of year? What's this end of year? But that's part of the reason why, if you're really big into this, as we are, join us for the call. We'll also do a wrap-up video kind of giving the highlights as well, so that people, if they don't have time, we'll do a little point description as to what happened. And of course, Globex, I mean, we love this company. There's such a strong case for it. They're doing a ton of work, and it'd be great to see Ellen. They're really out talking about the company in the US, because that's going to be a huge driver.
Yeah, it absolutely will be. And I'm just going to jump on a couple comments that we've got here. First of all, David, good afternoon to you too. Great to hear about Lakewood. It is great to hear about Lakewood. They've done an awesome job with they're refurbishing this mine in Idaho, getting it ready for drilling, and now they're actually getting the drill in place to do that. So super exciting. And then I'll let you field this one here, Andrew. What happened to GasX?
Yeah. Hey, I'm still a fan of GasX. We're in it, and it's just simply we're just waiting on more details. So everything is slowed down due to COVID. I mean, we said that, and it's not an excuse. I mean, and it's people can use it as an excuse, but certainly in South America, trying to get things done in a timely manner, trying to get parts, trying to get this, trying to get that. We've heard this kind of a regular theme from a lot of companies is onerous. It's difficult. So I'm not trying to make excuses for it. It's taken a lot longer than we had anticipated. We certainly thought this was going to be a faster kind of win, but we have I have strong belief in what they're doing. It's just going to take a bit more time, and it's unfortunate, with what's happening. But and time matters. I mean, because people look and go, I could be placing that money somewhere else. So we're fans of GasX. There's nothing negative happening. It's just everything is taking a bit more time. So hopefully we'll get more guidance in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to reach out to them as well this week to see if we can have a chat or just get some updates. But certainly, as far as, and this is a good segue as well, as far as the sector, natural gas, the absolute critical need for it moving forward, even into this green future that we want, we're seeing a lot of problems in the energy sector right now. When you see, especially in Europe, and even CNBC is kind of talking, and BBC, like, listen, just because we're having a bit of a crisis or an issue with supply demand here in Europe, that could be coming your way as well. And we're seeing gases up, certainly in North America. But it's things. The energy situation is certainly on people's mind, and there's no better place than in South America, which uses 50% of their green energy uses natural gas for hydro. So they are definitely reliant on natural gas. So I think this play is certainly a good, strong one. I'm very confident in GasX longer term. Certainly it's taken a lot longer, but to watch the energy crisis unfold, because we're in this transition. I mean, there's people saying don't ever use any fossil fuels again, which is just, that's one massive extreme to the hope of this huge carbon neutral future goal, which is ambitious and great and wonderful. But that doesn't mean we won't still be using oil and gas. It's just be a heck of a lot less. And I think people that are really interested in the sector will see, especially right now, the commodities, especially energy sector, there's a lot of optimism in that sector right now.
Yeah, there is for sure, and it's kind of been a consistent theme across the board with a lot of these companies seeing these timelines get stretched out because of COVID for different reasons and different impacts. For some people, it's supply issues. Some people, it's been not able to get employees. Some, it's been not able to get actually into their sites to work. But the entire COVID event has stretched out the timelines for a lot of these companies. So it's just, it's an uncontrollable variable that you kind of just have to roll with the punches on. But as long as the fundamentals stay strong, as it has with GasX, as it has with so many other of our top picks, it doesn't really change anything for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, I kind of say to people, like, there's just people that are either in some countries where they're being funded right now and say, well, why would I go back to work? There's no incentive. But the flip side of that is that there'd be probably at least 30% of the population that would be terrified to go back because they think that they're going to get sick and maybe die. So where's the incentive to be like, yeah, I'm going to rush out and go back to work? Until we get a lot more stability in the world in general and a bit more kind of a grasp on what's happening, we're going to have these supply chain issues. And that doesn't mean that people aren't using energy. And one might argue, I mean, we'll have to take a look. The amount of energy being used, especially I imagine in North America and Europe, because everyone's home, they're gearing up their computer and their electricity charges even more. It's pretty intense. So it may be a shift from a lot of big buildings, power outage compared to personal use outage being higher. But just because we're home doesn't mean we're not using all the energy still. So there's lots of interesting stories out there, lots of interesting places. We're actually looking at one in Alberta that's very interesting. We're going to talk about more, called Petro Viking, because we like these early stage ones that have a big upside. And once again, it doesn't contradict the fact that we want to see this green future. It's just there's a transition period, and it isn't weeks or months or a summer or a quarter. It's going to be years and years and years in order to leverage from one to the next and to utilize a lot of the research and innovation that's coming out. And you can see how long some of these take. So we're sitting in a good place right now. There's lots of cool stories out there. I mean, we talk about, GMG with graphene. There's lots of vanadium stories that are out there. We're still waiting to hear, about our vanadium play, which we won't talk about today, but vanadium redox batteries are happening. They're huge. There's lots of great stories in that sector as well. So there's lots happening that is really optimistic. But once again, we have to be patient because we're in turbulent times and we have a lot of uncertainty out there. But we're a big fan of commodities. I can't say it enough.
That's something that I don't think is ever going to change for either you or I. One last thing that I did kind of want to grab your thoughts on, interesting development at the end of the week last week. China, not for the first time, banning Bitcoin, banning cryptocurrencies. They've activated kind of every arm of government power that they can, from the police force to cybersecurity to the actual crypto databases themselves, saying, hey, we're not accepting this anymore. We need you to gradually retire and exist any Chinese accounts. It doesn't necessarily come as a surprise, but it does seem like a stronger stance than China took, certainly back in 2017 when they banned Bitcoin. So what are your kind of thoughts? Where do you think things are headed on this one?
I mean, it's hard to tell with China, but they've got their own digital currency, which they would want to strongly encourage and mandate people to use, regardless if they want to use it or not. That's not really the point. So yeah, they've got a government situation where they can do that. That's a lot tougher in Western democracies to enforce as we see to mandate or enforce things on people. And they're not having an easy go of it in China, which is an authoritarian place for the most part. So, who knows what it's going to play out, but this move towards a digital to a crypto type style coin is happening. It's going to happen. Yeah. But I can see, if they're a good lead indicator, most countries might look at Bitcoin and Ethereum as an asset, and they're very different as well. But they're going to want to push their own digital strategy. I mean, that's naturally. I don't see anywhere in the West them banning cryptos, but certainly there would be people that would just generally adopt more one that is a government backbone where they feel that's safe. It's perhaps backed by something. So it certainly caused a bit of fervor in the crypto space, and we certainly aren't against any crypto space. It's great. It does have competition with some of the gold space that we like, but it should be part of your portfolio. It's something worth it. That's the future. I can't say exactly which one is going to make it and stuff, but it's just interesting times. I mean, and you're talking about a very different ideological country than we certainly have over here.
Yeah, that's for sure, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how it progresses forward. But I think that's exactly kind of the game plan and the role we'll be seeing China roll out their own national digital currency. That not as a competition essentially to Bitcoin, but essentially just saying, look, you guys have had your time doing Bitcoin. You've learned about it. You've understand how it works. Now we're going to do a federally regulated one, and that's just going to be the path forward. But regardless, caused a lot of turmoil in the crypto market. Could it lead to a potential bear market throughout crypto for the next little bit? It did last time, so it could be interesting to see how that plays out, although crypto's got a lot more hype around it than it did in 2017. So I would expect to see it come charging back at some point in the not too distant future anyways. But interesting story nonetheless.
Yes. We've got Nick as well in the comment section here asking if it's a pre-recording, if we're live. Hello. I can't comment right now for some reason. It won't allow me. But hello. How are you? If you've got a question, just send it on, and Austin can either type it out and respond. I just can't today for some reason. But yeah, feel free to launch a question. Also, David, we can send you a quick message if you want to have a bit of a further dialogue. We can share some of the info we have on GasX, but we're certainly going to follow up with them to see time frames moving forward, because hey, we're invested heavily in them. I'm a big supporter of them. The last thing I want to just touch on, because it's kind of different, and it's one we strolled into as well, is that Royal Winds. So the gaming sector, which is certainly one that I mean, I understand. I play games, I get it, but it's certainly one area that you like a lot, and it's been doing quite well for the last 15 days or so that we started talking about it.
Yeah, it's had a nice little run, and on the back of it, joining the National Gaming Council for skill-based game gambling, that was positive news. They've gotten some great feedback and reviews on their app and their game platform. Everything seems to be running really smoothly. From a technical side, they seem to have that nailed down, which is the most critical thing when you're setting up any sort of online platform, that is your technology working and running smoothly. So then when you see that, yes, that's in place, it's very easy to, all right, well, now it just needs volume. It just needs the ability to grow. And they've set themselves up in a great position. The team they have over there is really exciting. I mean, I'm extremely encouraged by it. Obviously, gaming is something that I love and have had a passion for since, I was 5 years old. But now being able to incorporate it into finance and into financial markets is really fun as well. And seeing the upside of getting this traffic into game flow, getting this skill-based gambling versus actual just blind gambling, which I think is a lot more fun, because, if you spend some time, put some practice hours in, you can get better and have a chance to do actually better, rather than, I may have a really good feeling about Black 17, but that doesn't necessarily mean Black 17 is always going to hit. So I like the skill-based side of things a little bit more. Royal Winds is really exciting. We're looking forward to kind of finding out more about them over the next few months, hearing more about their strategy and their path forward, but really, really encouraging start for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's jumped up from 17 cents, 18 cents, and sitting at 22. So that's a good jump. And, there's certainly a lot of room for it to grow, but it's doing all the right things. And yeah, we can't wait to touch on where their growth is coming from. And certainly they're working with some good partners as well that are getting it out in front of people. And that's the key is a lot of things with these companies and stories is just getting them out in front of enough people. It's like Globex. Once people see what it is and they go, oh, this is really cool. This works. I like this. This is interesting. It takes sometimes 5 to 7 times for someone to touch on something new before they want to use it. They get excited and they think, okay, this is great. So we're happy so far. We're optimistic long-term. And listen, we want to cut this one a little bit short because I tend to talk way too much, and happy to do it on the phone. If you want to give me a call, if you want to send an email, we're happy to chat a little bit longer. But this is an interesting week. End of the month is here. Lots happening, but there's lots of things to keep focused and optimistic about.
Yeah, and as always, feel free to reach out to us directly to either of our company emails there, or reach out to us on social medias. We're on everything. So check us out. Whatever your poison is, if you like Twitter, if you like TikTok, we got it for you. So reach out, engage with us. We're happy to get back to you. And let's everyone focus on having a really great week this week.
Excellent. Take care.
All right, chat to you later.